Not sure how well you all can hear me, but I'm up against the clock. Rain and storms is coming in right now. I don't have much time. My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. For this trip, this is going to be interesting. Already the forecast is completely wrong. That's okay, I am prepared. As you all can see, it's quite windy here. Outside of the forest, the winds are blowing roughly 30 miles an hour. Luckily, inside of the forest, we're quite protected. Up in the clouds. Later on this evening, there is a good chance of severe weather. They're saying heavy rain, possibly some hail, and of course some strong winds. Will we get anything? I don't know. We shall see. Anytime that I head out for a trip, I look at it as we may get something, we may not. Either way, I'll be fine. The key is that you have to be prepared. You have to have the right gear, the right knowledge, and you can make a great experience out of any sort of conditions. For this adventure, folks, I brought with me some tactical gear. Some of it's civilian, like this tarp. Some of it's military, like this backpack. We'll talk more about that gear here in just a minute. For now, let's hike up here to the edge of the forest and see what it looks like. Let's see if we can get a peek through the clouds. It looks like I'm not going to be able to make it to the edge of the forest after all. That's the false edge. It's actually a little bit further. The reason I can't make it, it's beginning to rain. I haven't mentioned this already, but it's quite chilly today. It's about 50 degrees. The low tonight is in the 30s. I don't think it'll freeze, but it'll be chilly enough. Because it's so chilly, it's best not to get wet, not to get damp, so I'm going back to the tarp. When it comes to wet weather camping like this, the key is to stay dry. Talking about hypothermia, I only bring that up because it's a real danger. I don't want to discourage anyone from going out into storm systems, rain systems. It's a lot of fun. It really makes you feel alive. But at the same time, you have to be smart, you have to do it right. It's all about going out, having fun, and going back home, right? It's not about going out and dying in the woods. You don't want to die of exposure, you don't want to die of hypothermia, and those are all real possibilities if you do things incorrectly. But if you got a good head on your shoulders, you'll be all right. It's actually raining quite a bit heavier than I realized. Once you step outside of the forest here, it's coming down. Luckily, we have the canopy here. it's protecting us, at least for now. Everybody, it's hailing. Whew. I just made a quick little adjustment to this tarp so that it wouldn't pull here on top. When you're using a tarp, something that I don't oftentimes talk about is something that you need to consider, and it's stretching. The materials will stretch, your cordage will stretch, and that is something that you will have to address in the field. Especially as the humidity goes up, when rain begins to fall, that's when those materials stretch the most. When I originally pitched this, it was very tight, but as it begun to rain, everything begun to sag, begun to stretch a little bit. That's why I had to make these adjustments. So I raised up this side, and I've also taken a stick, and I have it wedged here in the corner just to lift this up just a little bit more. My friends, cheers, it's coffee time. It's raining outside, it's super foggy, it's windy, and another round of storms is coming in. By the way, everyone, the stove that I'm using is a BCB Dragonfire stove. The fuel is hexamine. You need to make sure to use this stuff outside of your tent in a big airy area, because when you burn this, it releases formaldehyde. I only mention this because the other day, I was watching a YouTube channel, an outdoor channel, and they were doing some like car camping. I'm not going to mention any names or anything like that, but they were burning a stove like this inside of their car. this guy's channel, I happen to have his email address, so I sent him an email just letting him know, like, buddy, it's not a good idea to burn that stuff inside of an enclosed space. Not trying to be a jerk or anything like that, you know what I mean? I don't want to sound like a know-it-all, but I don't want to see someone get cancer or something awful from breathing this crap in. It is definitely a wet afternoon, but not as wet as the next trip. So check this out, folks. Next week, a hurricane is coming into the area. Or at least, that's the forecast for right now. Supposedly, the hurricane will be coming by us. We'll have 2 days of rain. That's when we're going to get out with that 30-pound clear tarp thing that I bought. I mentioned this in the previous adventure. I wasn't paying attention. I was in a hurry. I found a clear tarp. I purchased it. It was a 10x10. That part I got right. I thought it said a 2 mil vinyl clear tarp. It said 24 mil. The thing weighs like 30 pounds. Oops, my bad. Anyways, we'll be using that tarp in the hurricane. So we'll see how that goes. I'll tell you what, everyone, while we have a second here, it's not raining too hard, I want to ask you all something. I want to ask if you've ever had this sort of experience or heard of such a thing. So a few weeks ago, I was at Lone Wolf Mountain, and I was going to do some mowing up there. So the previous time that I mowed, I hit a rock, and I bent the lawnmower blade. So I go to Lone Wolf Mountain, get the mower, flip it upside down, replace the blade, flip it back over, go to start it, it won't start. Okay, maybe it's out of gas, which I thought was odd, but okay. So I take the cap off. When I take the cap off, I notice that the thing has been chewed on. The connector line that connects the cap to the lawnmower so you don't lose it, it's been chewed through. So I thought that was strange, whatever. Took the cap off, filled it up with gas, put the cap back on, go to start it. That's when I start smelling gasoline. So I look down, and in the bottom corner of the tank is a large tooth-sized hole. So this is what's taken place. A smaller black bear has chewed on the gas tank. So when I went back up to the shed, I actually found the tracks. I didn't notice them before. But a black bear chewed on the gas tank to my lawnmower. It chewed the cap up and punctured a hole right in the tank. Now, I was stuck in a situation where this thing is just pumping gas out. So I had to come up with a quick fix. So I took the lawnmower and I stood it up on its front wheels, right up against the truck. That way the hole was up in the air so gas couldn't come out of it. So that stopped the leaking for a second. At that point, I was thinking about, like, how can I stop the gas? How can I plug this up? So get this, folks. I'm looking around in my truck for what I have, and I come across some bubble wrap. So I take the bubble wrap, I go away from the mower and the gasoline, and basically I ball it up and I catch it on fire, I let it melt. I blow it out, go over to the lawnmower, and begin using that molten hot plastic to fill in that hole. I was able to seal up the gas tank with melted plastic. That did the trick. I was able to mow and finish up the day. There was no going home to get supplies to repair it properly. I had to repair it right there or the whole day was wasted. Already I spent an hour driving there, right? 15 minutes for the lawnmower blade plus everything else. I couldn't drive an hour, then back an hour, then back an hour, you know what I mean. So that was my redneck hillbilly fix in the forest for the lawnmower, and it worked incredibly well. But have you guys ever heard of that before? Have you ever heard of a bear or any animal chewing on a gas cap or gas tank? It sounds like the storms are getting closer. I thought for a second there it was going to clear up, but nope. It's getting dark again, and it's raining quite heavily. Jeez, guys. It's getting very, very windy. Later on tonight, once the storms pass, I'll set up my tent, and I'm going to set that up underneath this tarp. I have with me one of the best military tent systems out on the market today, and I'm going to use a special add-on that's going to keep me warm and also block out the wind tonight. It's pretty cool. For this trip, I have some Canadian MREs, so let's go ahead and open these up and let's see what we have here. So this one says it's a light meal combat pack, barbecue beef jerky, a Canadian MRE. Let's see what it's all about. So we have a fruit bar, I guess. We have some instant coffee, some beef jerky, and a ton of little packets here. We have a sports drink. We have some crunchy barbecue mix. I wonder what that is. What's barbecue mix? We have a beverage bag to make the sports drink in. We'll try that in a second. Here we have a vanilla meal replacement drink, which I'm going to skip. These things are pretty much just chemical bombs. The drink's ready. Now let's try the crunchy barbecue mix. Looks like it's soybeans, corn, oil, and barbecue seasoning. It doesn't really smell like anything. Either that or I have COVID again. Let's give the soybeans and corn a try. They're not lying about it being crunchy. It's almost like chewing on a kernel of corn. It's good. Tell you what, let's move to the beef jerky. I don't think the crunchy stuff is my cup of tea. It's as hard as a rock, but it's really good. When I say hard as a rock, I mean it. I can't even get it apart, really. Next up, we have a spaghetti and meatballs MRE. My buddy Sean, thank you so much for sending me these, my friend. I really appreciate it. I don't think I've seen or tried a Canadian MRE before. I don't think. I could be wrong. I might have. But off the top of my head, I don't remember it. I will say, though, that this crunchy soybean corn thing does seem familiar. Spaghetti and meatballs. That's my dinner. For dessert, sliced peaches. Ooh, sounds good. We have some more rock hard jerky. We have some candy, some Reese's Pieces. We have a hamburger bun. A hamburger bun? Plain hamburger. What? There's a hamburger bun in this? For what? Some peanut butter. some more peanut butter, some creamer, some coffee, some strawberry jam, some matches, some Tic Tacs. Talk about the difference 5 minutes can make. I'm seeing blue sky over here. The sun is out. I don't know. Oftentimes with these cold fronts, they come in waves. So we've had 2 already. I wouldn't be surprised if it rains again here in just a little bit. I don't trust this at all. I have seen this happen over and over again in this area. And while I can't check the radar because I have no service up here, I don't trust it. Not a bit. Just because the sun's out, just because there's blue sky, does not mean anything. Things are changing again, everyone. Gone is the sun, gone is the blue sky. It's dark. And I'm hearing thunder from over here. We're not going to be able to hang out here much longer. We're going to have to go in. Something about the fog though, right? Dark, mysterious, you really can't see anything. Cheers. Ah, that is so much better. It's cold. Right now the temperature's around 45 degrees Fahrenheit. With these winds, I mean the wind chill's in the 30s. It's a good taste of fall, everyone. A good taste. If you've followed the channel for any period of time, you know that I love being out in nasty storms like this. For me, this is living. I love it. Talking about living and dying for a second, everybody knows that life is short. You never know when your time is going to come. If there's something that you want to do, now's the time to do it. Come up with a plan and do it. Recently, I've been contacted by the family members of 2 viewers. One is the family of a woman named Catherine. A few weeks ago, Catherine contacted me, said that she had cancer. Seriously, folks, like 2 weeks later, she's gone. Just like that. A few days ago, I hear from the brother of a guy named Matt. He's someone that I've spoken to before. He's a viewer of the channel. And Matt is passing away from cancer. In the matter of weeks, their lives have been turned upside down. Catherine's gone. Matt's going to pass away. That really does show just how short life is. Nothing's guaranteed. You're not promised nothing, right? Today is your day, not tomorrow. Cheers to Catherine. Cheers to Matt. My thoughts with you all, with your family. Yeah. On to the next adventure, my friends. That's what it's all about. When you go from this life to the next one, it's just part of the ride. Who knows what the next step is? I don't know. Everyone, it is dinner time. Spaghetti and meatballs. It's interesting, there's actually very little pasta in this. It's mostly meatballs. Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that what everybody always wanted with like Chef Boyardee or whatever? Nobody wanted the pasta. Everybody wanted the meatballs. It is dark, dark, dark. I've been hearing thunder for the last 30 minutes. It's been getting closer and closer. It's good. Spaghetti and meatballs. It's a little bit different than like the United States military spaghetti and meatballs meal. This is more like meatballs with pasta with gravy. It doesn't have a very strong like tomato base flavor. As you all can see, I got the tent set up. This is a very cool shelter. This is the Light Fighter one-person tent. This is official US military surplus. There's a one-person, there's also a two-person. In conjunction with the tent, I am using the cold weather system. Think of this as being like an add-on for this tent that converts this from a 3-season tent to a 4-season tent. You had the fabric walls here that block the wind, they hold in some heat, they block out moisture. It should be mentioned that I'm using this tent without a fly. I have a tarp over the top, so I don't need the fly. All in all, this is a very versatile system. Lightweight tarp. The tent itself is not too heavy for being military surplus. So, all in all, very cool. I wanted to test this out underneath a tarp with the cold weather system. So far, so good. The winds are coming this direction, hitting the backside of this, and I can't feel anything at all. With all of that being said, everyone, I'm going to seal this tent up. The camera's staying outside because it's going to get too hot in here. That thing will fog up in a second, in a heartbeat. But I have a movie to watch, Starship Troopers. Oh yeah, that's a classic right there. I will see you all in the morning. Good night for now. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It is 7:22. The temperature's in the 30s. It's quite chilly. The sun is coming up. It's coffee time. I fired up Starship Troopers last night. I watched most of it. I fell asleep about 10:30, woke up at 6:30. So, yeah, slept great, didn't hear anything, just the dripping rain. That's it. As far as the tent setup goes, this worked incredibly well. It blocked all of the wind, held in some heat, stayed comfortable. Very, very comfortable. As far as the coffee this morning, we're having some Nescafe. And for breakfast, let's have the fruit bar. It says hamburger bun, plain hamburger. So is it a plain hamburger or is it a hamburger bun? I don't know. I'm assuming it's a plain bun because we have peanut butter and jelly. If there was a hamburger patty in this, I'd be scared, man. That has just fallen apart. That'll have to do. Ah, nice and warm. It feels good to hold. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. It sure is windy this morning. All in all, the storms that came through yesterday were pretty good. Started off with hail, some good lightning. Cheers to the storms. Let's go ahead and try our breakfast here. Again, Sean, thank you so much for the Canadian MREs. I really appreciate it. All in all, they're pretty good. The peanut butter to jelly ratio is off, though. There's way too much peanut butter. Not enough jelly. So, here we go. I have some shout outs to give. First off, Scott, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for watching the channel. Scott is an amazing young man, 21 years old. He loves the channel. How's it going, man? A different Scott, congratulations on becoming a father. Now, I feel bad about this. A viewer sent me a sleeping pad, and I had the information written down, and I had it written down on my other phone. Well, a few days ago, the phone fell out of my pocket and I stepped on it, so I have no idea what your name is at the moment. If I could figure it out, I will flash it on the screen. So my friend, thank you so much for the sleeping pad. I slept great last night. With the gear that I brought with me, I think the most interesting piece is the backpack. What I have here is the Force Protector gear. Well, they used to call it the Marpack. They now call it the Marauder, I believe. So what makes this so interesting is this back panel. Check this out. Let's see, where's that zipper? So the back opens up and you have a pad back here, a ground pad. You can use this inside of your tent. You can use this on the ground. That is a really cool feature. It integrates right into the back of the backpack. I was going to use that inside of the tent, but this pack is so muddy, so wet, I didn't want to bring it inside. I guess I could have detached the pad, but that's okay. That's how it goes. In the future, I'll use that feature. Maybe during like a wintertime trip where the snow's falling. I think the plan is to go ahead, start breaking everything down, then I'm going to head off this mountain. Thank you so much everyone for joining me for this trip. I do appreciate it. It's always good to have you all along. Hit the thumbs up before you go because it does help the channel. If you want to see more videos like this and want to support the Outdoor Gear Review, you could do so on YouTube, Patreon. You could join the family. You could join an incredible community of like-minded individuals. Going to finish this up, pack everything up, and I'll see you very soon. I'll see you on Sunday with the next review, Tuesday the same, next Thursday with the next adventure. So bye for now. Take care, everyone. Be safe.
the strangest feeling to know what to believe in. Cause every time you touch me, I can't control my body. Oh, baby, you are on my mind, all I think about, and I don't wanna stop. I don't wanna stop. Could you come closer to me? I just can't resist you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Getting into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm breathing when you are with me. My heart is beating. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Giving into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Giving into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Giving into you. I'm giving up. I'm giving up. Giving into you. Baby, you are on my mind. I can't control my body, can't control my body, 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 body. I am stuck in a dreaming. I can't help what I'm feeling. I don't know if I'm